These are some of the bloopers. On this episode of Beyond 2030, we do things a little different from the usual setup you're used to. A lot of things have changed, but it's okay. We will keep adjusting the format to make it suit our audience and to just make it work for us. The goal is to advance the SDGs, to champion the sustainable movement for everyone for good livelihoods, right? That's the goal. Hi, guys. I would like us to explore a concept. I have introduced it on my content via writing, but now the approach I want to take. So, what do you understand when you talk about civic participation or civic engagement? What's the first thing that comes to your mind, really? So, as a person who works in the community, I think one of the things that I've realized and just come to know, not out of my thinking, but out of experience, is that a number of young people, some young people, do not know how to take part in civic matters. And I feel this is the time that we need to explore this concept. We're a fast growing country. We're not the same as we were 10 years ago. And so our approach to certain issues that affect us in the community must be different. We need to have a certain level of awareness. And how does this awareness really come about? Does it just happen, boom, overnight? No. It just doesn't happen. It takes keen interest. So you always hear people say, young people are the future. They are the leaders now, not tomorrow. They are the leaders now. You start acting now. So how do we then take part in civic matters? And there's this perception or notion that when people take part in civic matters, it simply means they are inclined into political work, a specific political party, but that's not really true. That's not true. Let's break that cycle. Let's break it. So first of all, how can you participate in civic matters? Number one, you need to be aware. How do you need to be aware? You need to be concerned. You need to have a certain level of curiosity, a certain level of interest to what is happening in your community, within your community. You look at current affairs. And I don't mean you have to become a digger, news digger or anything. No. You can basically just know the little things that are going on in your community, you being involved, you knowing what's happening when. And I always say this and I'll keep saying it. Young people need to know their leaders. Like, there is no way you would wish to be in the civic space, or we would wish as people who are aware to see other young people aware if our young people do not really know the basic things such as they are community leaders. So we need to work on that. And also the second thing that we need to do is that we need to be outgoing a bit. We need to be exploring. You understanding or being part of civic matters simply means taking part in issues of your community. When people call for meetings, like a community meeting, there's an issue we need to discuss. Maybe it's about the drainages, or there's an announcement in the community, in your area, in your ward. Are you the first youth to run to that meeting, or you're just like, it's all those boring old school meetings, I don't think they're mine? You see? And then at the end of the day, we want to sit and complain on how decisions are being made. We start questioning how something was decided upon when you had the chance to be part of a wider conversation, but you decided to sit away. So we need to be part of conversations. That's civic engagement. And number three, we need to erase the notion that civic participation is about politics, because politics is about politics or being inclined to a political party. We need to erase that. We need to establish a firm ground of understanding. We need to have some certain level of what the reality is, what the facts are, and not just speaking from without. And the fourth thing we need to do, we need to be involved. So that's just about it. We're exploring the concept of civic engagement. Now, and the fifth thing that we also have to explore is understanding that civic engagement is not only for the older people, the older generation, or our grandparents or our parents. It's actually for us, for them, for everyone. Everyone needs to take part, because we all live in a community that is ruled out of certain systems, policies that are in place. We need to be involved. We need to erase that it's for a certain type of people. And we need to know our laws, our policies, what guides us, who is in charge of what, where can we access what, when do we get a specific service or an opportunity or a program in the community, who is responsible for what, who runs what, where can we go to when we need answers, you know? And the other thing, that's a lot of angles to civic participation, civic engagement. Others would rather be active in it full time, and others would just be citizens who want to be concerned, who care about their community. Another concept we could explore, angle we could explore, is seeking for accountability. Is one way of participating in civic matters. There's a bridge that was supposed to be constructed, for example, in Ward A. But over a period of time that was given, nothing has happened. You live in town A, you live in Ward A, and it's of concern to you because you're wondering, how are you going to navigate your movements? Why hasn't anything happened? You are still suffering regardless of what was promised or whatever, or what needs to be done. So then you, as a community leader who is concerned, or a community person, or just any other person, you have the right to find out from the right people what happened, when did it happen, why did it happen, and when it most likely will happen. So that's civic engagement. Sometimes you don't have to do it directly. You can go to your counselor, your chairperson. That will help you explore some of these things. And another thing, I think we need to start erasing the stereotype that when we go to a particular place, they won't listen to us, or downplaying ourselves. We need to stop doing that as young people. We need to know that we have the voice to speak for ourselves, and people have to listen to us. If what we're saying is relevant, if what we're saying is factual, if what we're saying is meaningful and impactful, people need to listen to us. So we need to remove the fear of, the fear of the unknown. We need to explore. We need to explore the possible capabilities. What if we actually do this? You might just change the state of affairs in your community. You never know. It's not something really big. You don't have to sit in parliament sometimes. Sometimes it's just as small as you walking up to somebody, asking them the right question, the right person, make sure. Sometimes it's just you being able to have a voice to whatever discussion is happening about your community, raising a question, a concern. It's as simple as that. So yeah, let's explore. What does it mean to be young in Zambia today? That is a question I have for you. Explore it. I want answers. On today's episode of Beyond 2030 on the React segment, and everything today is different. Setup, different. Format, different. Everything, different. You have to react on the React segment. What does it mean to be young in Zambia today? Is a question you're reacting to. Make sure you leave your responses. You can even send in a video response, and we will play it on the next episode of Beyond 2030. The power is in your hands. Tell me, what does it mean to be young in Zambia today? Then on the next episode, I will get to react to your reactions or your responses. So let's explore it together. Let's make it work. This is a collaborative thing. It has to work for you, for me. Let's grow the agenda, the 2030 agenda. Let's grow the SDGs. Let's spread the news, okay? That's all on the React segment, the gist on the React segment. I leave you with a question. What does it mean to be young in Zambia today? What does it mean? What does it mean to be young in Zambia today? Tell me. Tell me. What?